Greetings, YouTube. The other day I listened to a video here on YouTube where someone was discussing how to properly pronounce the name of the big baddie in the Harry Potter verse. Now, some people say that it's pronounced Voldemort with a T, and some say it's pronounced Voldemort with a soft R. Seeing as how the word is apparently French, I didn't even know that, I would go with Voldemort with the soft R. That's how the author herself says it should be pronounced. But there are those who are diehards that say that it should be pronounced Voldemort. And now, the reasoning that this person gave is they felt that the hard T sound made it a stronger, more powerful name. And I don't know if I can argue with that, but if I have a villain, I don't necessarily want his name or her name to be where the power is. I want the power to be within the villain themselves. I want the name to have menace. I want it to be disturbing. I want it to be a word that can be whispered, that can be hissed, that can be heard at a distance, and it fades off into nothingness, and it scares the crap out of the people who've heard it. And for me, a soft-sounding word like Voldemort is far more powerful than a hard-sounding Voldemort. Not to mention, I find Voldemort to be more difficult to say. I think it breaks the flow of whatever line the word is in. Voldemort moves more smoothly, in my opinion. Which got me thinking about names that I have used in villains in the past. And I came to realize that I couldn't actually remember many of the names I've used in the past. In my Overkill Gamma World campaign, one of the villains I used was a guy named Braxeldrev. And Braxeldrev, I believe I stole that from a leading edge game. Dragon Star Rising, maybe? Or I'm not sure which one. But I really loved the name, and the illustration that they had of him in the book was awesome. And basically, he was one of the easiest villains I ever came up with. He was an evil Wolverine. And I just reskinned him and used him. And I really had one of the players in the group hated this guy. It was a wonderful rivalry they had going. He taunted and teased that group for ages. It was great. I think they finally actually gave him his comeuppance, if I remember correctly. But I've used the name Zriprakis before. I think I stole that one too. But when I was running the Forgotten Realms, I realized I used nobles quite frequently, because nobles to me are good villains. And a lot of the time I was using names that had soft endings. And I think that was because I was basing a lot of these nobles on the French aristocracy. Because when it comes to absolute arrogance and out-and-out disdain for anyone that isn't of the blue blood set, I can think of very few groups that did it better than the French aristocracy. So quite a few of the bad people would have had names that ended in a soft sound. And again, I like that. I like the way that flows. I like the way it sounds. I always have. So I'm putting out a call here to the RPG community here on YouTube. What are some of the best names that you came up with for your villains? Why did you pick them? What did you like about them? And as an aside, which do you prefer, Voldemort or Voldemort?